more about the reasons for sleep, the type of sleep, the stages of sleep, why it's evolutionarily exist. So the true pattern of biphasic sleep, for which there is anthropological, biological, and genetic evidence, which remains measurable in all human beings, is one consisting of a longer bout of continuous sleep at night, followed by a short mid-afternoon nap. Plenty of people have argued for 4-hour sleep cycles and separating that. However, this seems to be more of a product of culture, as Matthew points out, rather than actual evolutionary biology. The normal pattern of sleeping 8 hours and then taking a mid-afternoon nap does seem to be a prevalent biological sleep pattern. This short nap does seem to play a very significant role. I believe Greece was mentioned as an example. Greece has a natural culture of napping. Modern Greece type phenomena was abandoned. I believe about 23,000 people were tracked from ages like 20 to 48. These people were no longer taking their mid-afternoon naps. According to them, abandoning naps caused about 37% increase in heart attacks and about 60% increase in mortality. There was a control group here too. There was still a small population of people in Greece, in Icaria, that continued to nap. They displayed none of these health symptoms, so that's the control part of it. Supposedly 4 times as many men live up to 9. Now there's a lot of different factors that go into the play, probably diet, probably sleep, just genetics. Still though, like, you don't want to pass out a free opportunity for a nap if it's helping you anyway. Elephants need half as much sleep as humans, requiring only 4 hours of slumber each day. Tigers and lions devour 15 hours of daily sleep. On the other hand, bats sleep about 19 hours a day. But sleep doesn't really seem to have to do with weight, nor is it about diet necessarily, because there are plenty of herbivores that will sleep longer. Truly speaking, there doesn't seem to be any explanation why there's so many sleep variations in different species. One part of the book actually talks about, I think, how humans need less sleep than most primates, but we still end up getting more REM sleep. I think it's compared to gorillas and chimpanzees. This supposedly has to do with us evolving to sleep from trees to ground, and fire being involved, so it's like more comfortable sleeping. It's easier to get deeper sleep without having to worry about predators. There's solid evidence that this might have also increased our brain development because of the fact that we can get REM sleep easier on the ground. Key takeaway from this is that you can't look at other people or other things as a way of tailoring your sleep needs. The fact is, in Joe Rogan podcast, Matthew Walker talks about how if you round the amount of people that need less than 8 hours of sleep to the closest whole number, equals roughly 0%. Now there are people, The Rock, who sleep like 3 hours, 4 hours a day, and they're like 260 pounds and 6'5", right? Similarly, Kobe Bryant is like an elite athlete. Even during his NBA career, he slept like 3 to 4 hours. There's a part of us that get these athletes and idols think, oh, we can do it. Why can't we do it, right? That's the reason why in high school I slept very little, because I thought if they could do it, I could do it as well. It's important to realize that sleep is very variable. For example, LeBron James, who's probably the best athlete of all time, he's recorded to sleep about 12 hours a day. It's very individual, but we're still looking at the extreme ends here. If you look at the average, which you probably belong in, you should probably sleep about 8 hours. My rhythm is not your rhythm. So in this part, Walker is talking about how people have different somatic types, different sleep needs. Genetically, it could vary radically, right? So we're talking about things like morning types and night types. Those are a thing. If you control all the factors like caffeine, people can sleep at a consistent time, control light levels. Some people naturally fall asleep earlier. Some people naturally fall asleep later. Supposed like evolutionary reason for this, it has to do with like child raising. Matthew talks about a village raising a child. For example, there may be 2 somatic types, right? A person that sleeps between 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. What this does is that at any given point, it lowers the amount of overlapping hours that some person is asleep in a village, for example. So let's say you have a child and you're trying to protect the village from predation. It makes you less vulnerable because at any given point, there's a chance that someone's awake naturally. So if you're a 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. type of person, which is a morning person, right? It means that between 9 and 2, someone is looking out for the village, because the natural sleep schedule is that they would fall asleep first 2, to make them more of an evening type. So the gap is only about 3 hours, right? Like between 2 and 5. That's why so many different variations and somatic types exist. I'm naturally a morning person, right? Like I wake up around 6:30 to 7, no matter what time I go to bed. And this has caused a lot of issues in college. All the social life in college happens at around nighttime, right? I mean, my friends are up literally till like 5 a.m. sometimes. Naturally try to get sleepier at like by 10, 11. Unfortunately, that could make you an outlier. So oftentimes you get judged, you know, because, oh, this guy sleeps earlier, what a loser. Similarly, like if you're at home and you sleep till like 10, there's a very strong cultural thing where a lot of Asian parents will yell at you for that, right? Like you're being lazy, but naturally your somatic type makes you sleep at that time. That's completely okay. That's the time where you get the most efficient sleep. However, you do have to make sure that you actually know your somatic types, because there's a good chance that you're falling asleep later just because of blue light exposure, or you're drinking caffeine at night, or you're so stressed out that you can't fall asleep, right? What you need to do to figure out what time you fall asleep best and how many hours you need, consistently go to bed when you're tired and around the same time, and see when you naturally wake up, right? This also means that around the evening time, make sure you lower your light level. Try to participate in more relaxing activities. Don't drink alcohol, don't drink caffeine, things like that. And you'll naturally know what time you're supposed to fall asleep. Of course, you'll know this naturally by how tired you actually are, right, throughout the daytime. But obviously, you also fall victim to that sleep paradox thing. You want to make sure that you measure this and find the general time when you fall asleep.